Hey guys, how you doing? Today I'd like to talk a little bit about iron farms. So the other day I saw a video by Slack Lizard showcasing how he managed to fit 16 iron farms into a single ticking area. Um, it was really impressive, and I was inspired to try and make it just a slightly more survival friendly. But as I was doing so, I noticed a lot of comments about the villages merging and how you can't stack villages vertically. Um, that was a little bit surprising to me because I've never had that issue. I've pretty much always stacked my villages. So I wanted to have a look into it and see what I could find. So the first thing is the actual individual iron farm design. You can see it's based off Groover Guy's design, but I've improved it, and now it's 100% lossless. By that I mean I've I've been testing this for hours on end, for days, and I've not had one single iron golem fall off the edge and wander around the floor. So, and I've done that by using waterlogged stairs on the edges. So I have seen iron golems spawn on the stairs, but the water just carries them straight away. Even in the centre there, because the iron golems are so wide that the water will even carry them away from there. The other change I made is to move the villages, but that's mostly for my own comfort really. I wasn't too keen on having them in the corner, so I just moved them to the centre. If you do build this in survival, you'd probably want to encase them a little bit better. But I've also put trapdoors at the top, so you can easily either feed them or actually drop the villagers in. So I think that's everything for the individual farm. Okay, so I'm going to jump into MCC tool chest, and I'll show you that these are all actually separate villages. Do a quick refresh. So as you can see, there are 4 entries, which goes along with the 4 villages that I've got in the 2 chunks. And if we check through each one, they've all got valid doors, and they've all got villagers. And a 3rd one, and finally the 4th one. So they're all valid, they've got valid doors, they've all got villagers, so they're all producing golems. The other values I wanted to show you are the CX, the CY and the CZ. Now those 3 are the village centre in world coordinates, and what I found is if the CX and the CZ of any 2 or more villages are the same, then for some reason the CY is ignored, and all of the villagers inside each of the villages will only detect whichever village is highest on the Y value. This doesn't mean that the villages merge, they're all still counted as separate villages. It's just that you'll see one has, say, 40 villagers and the other will have 0 villagers. So I'm assuming it's some kind of bug, but I'm not too sure without further testing. So I'll jump back into the game and I'll try to visualize it a bit more for you. Okay, so I'll try to explain that a little bit better. So say you built 2 villages, you stack them up on top of each other like that, and you built them exactly identical, so all the doors in the same locations and the villages in the same locations. What would happen is the centre of those two villages would be on the exact same X and Z coordinates, but one would be down there and one would be around there. And what I found is that for whatever reason, if that's the case, then the villagers from both villages will completely ignore the lower one. So I'm not sure if it's some sort of bug. I don't know if the villagers start locating valid villages from the top down, or I haven't quite figured it out yet, but that's what's happening. So the easiest way to fix that is to actually shift the center of one of these villages, and the easiest way to do that is just to add doors on the side. You don't even need to add this many, just one door would shift the center of the village over, and when that happens, everything just works. These villages only see the doors on this village, and the same all the way up. Okay, so let's talk about the spacing and the positioning of the farms to get 4 to fit into 2 chunks. So we know that a farm has a radius of 32 blocks, which means they should need to be 64 blocks apart in order for them not to merge. So I've added a few extra blocks to that, so that village is 70 blocks higher than that village, and then the same follows through up to the top. Also, the positioning of the doors is important. So as we're looking at this farm now, the doors are on the front and the back, but if we were to place them on the left and the right side instead, then all those doors along there would not actually be valid, because the farms above them block the light access. And one other step I took, which again was more for myself really, is I've alternated which side the villagers are on. So they're on this side up there, and then as we go up, you can see that one's fine because that's in a different chunk. That's a long way up. See, I've shifted them over to this side. I don't think it's necessary really, now that I understand about the village centres and the need to offset them. And then if you come down to the second one, I've just sort of made this little waterway. Oh, that was good timing. Made this little waterway just to carry the iron golems from those 2 farms over into the central killing chamber. It's a little bit janky, but it works. So and as far as drops go, I've run a few tests. So these 3 rows are the results of the last 3 tests I've run. These are all 1-hour tests. So you can see, depending on what the golems drop, we're getting roughly 3 stacks of iron an hour, which if you did go ahead and build 4 identical layouts like this in all 4 of the corners, then that should work out to 12 stacks an hour in total. I think that's mostly due to the efficiency of the new design more than anything else really. Okay, so that's about all I wanted to show you for this video. I will post a link to both Slack Lizards and Groover Guys videos in the description. Thank you for watching. If you liked what you saw, then please give a like, and if you want to see more, then please do subscribe. If you've got any comments or suggestions or anything, then please do drop a comment as well. I do try to read everything. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.